You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we've got some more action moving in the direction of USA Fencing. That, of course, is the national governing body for fencing in the United States. They would also be involved with any fencing that ends up in the Olympics. And as we know, well, USA Fencing just lets biological males, men in to compete in the women's side of things all the time. All right, yesterday, North American Championship, word came out that there were going to be 2 males in the women's division. Now, we know that Stephanie Turner, a 31-year-old woman, kneeled very bravely in protest because she was looking up and she was about to have to fence what can only be described as one big old boy, plain and simple. And, of course, she came out and said, I was scared to go against him. You should have been. You made the right decision, and it was the brave one. And the USA Fencing judges were very disgusting in their reaction during that. We've all seen the video at this point. Well, now the Department of Education is opening an investigation. By the way, Ted Cruz is looking into this. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is looking into this. So it's getting closer and closer to being directly addressed by Trump, I think. The Department of Education's DOE newly formed Title IX team is launching an investigation into USA Fencing's incident after a female fencer was disqualified for refusing to compete against a transgender identifying male. Education Secretary Linda McMahon, of the Vince McMahon fame, announced the investigation during an interview on Fox News' Faulkner Focus. Quote, we have a special Title IX investigations team that is going to be investigating anyone who was associated with this to make sure this doesn't continue to happen, McMahon said. The president has made it crystal clear that he is not going to tolerate men being able to compete in women's sports. He signed an executive order, and we're upholding Title IX. For those who violate these provisions, we will investigate and take action. As Breitbart News reported last week, women's fencer Stephanie Turner refused a match against a transgender-identifying opponent at the Cherry Blossom Open in Maryland, opting to take a knee instead. When Turner learned that she would be facing off against male fencer Redmond Sullivan, who, by the way, is now either quit or been forced off or kicked off the team. Nobody exactly knows, I don't think. I think they booted him off the team. She wanted her protest to be caught on camera and decided to take a knee just before the match began. She later told Fox News that USA Fencing failed to listen to women's views on trans athletes participating in their sport. I knew what I had to do because USA Fencing had not been listening to women's objections regarding its eligibility policy, Turner said. I took a knee immediately at that point. Redmond was under the impression that I was going to start fencing, so I took a knee. I looked at the ref, and I said, I'm sorry, I cannot do this. I am a woman. This is a man. This is a women's tournament. I will not fence this individual. And, of course, Redmond came over and started addressing her, actually. Even though Redmond warned Turner that she would likely be disqualified for refusing to compete, she accepted her fate anyway. Indeed, minutes after her refusal, the referees gave Turner the black card penalty, and she was expelled from the tournament. Oh, man, the plot is thickening on this, folks. The Department of Education spokeswoman, Julie Hartman, told the outlet that the University of Maryland bears, quote, responsibility. The plot is thickening, in fact, for the incident because it hosted the event. Complicit. I like the sounds of this. She said Wagner College is also responsible because it is previously rostered a transgender identifying fencer. The nation watched as a female competitor bravely took a knee and forfeited an inherently unfair fencing match after discovering that her opponent was male. No woman should have to recuse herself from a match that she trained diligently for because she fears for her safety. Absolutely. A woman should have never been put in this position whatsoever. As a tournament host, University of Maryland has responsibility to follow Title IX by allowing males to compete in female competitions and occupy female-only intimate facilities. Similarly, Wagner College has a responsibility to not allow males on female rosters, unlike the Biden administration, which weaponized Title IX, contrary to the meaning to deny female athletes their civil rights. The Trump administration's Department of Education and Department of Justice's Title IX Special Investigations Team will not allow recipients of federal funding to deny women's equal opportunity protections under the law. This is what we voted for, folks. We're seeing it in action right now. They're trying to sue Trump over all of this, and it's just not going to stick. They're not going to win. USA Fencing previously told the outlet that its current transgender and non-binary athlete policy was established in 2023, designed to expand access to the sport of fencing and create inclusive, safe spaces. That was a direct quote from them. Inclusive, safe spaces. Safe spaces for who? Do the females not count? Do they don't deserve safety? This is a joke. The investigation is one of the first from the joint DOE and DOJ Joint Title IX Investigation Team. Sounds awful lot like a task force to me, which was announced last week, created to handle the, quote, staggering volume of Title IX complaints. Wow. Wow. It goes on to talk about President Trump's executive order. This just got much more interesting, a lot more interesting, and it's pretty clear President Donald J. Trump is not going to play with these colleges. University of Maryland, that's a big college, folks. It's an ACC school. I believe they're still in the ACC. All I know is in football, Boomer Esiason came out of there, and for a half a second, I think Angel Reese actually played on the women's basketball team before going to LSU, if I'm not going out of my mind. So now, Linda McMahon, you don't want to piss her off. You don't. Linda McMahon has got them in the crosshairs by way of Trump. This is going to get very interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. The USA Fencing Association, whatever you want to call them, that organization, they're running a real risk of losing their national governing body status, and it be given to some other fencing organization somewhere that will uphold the values of what it is President Donald Trump is trying to do here. I don't know. This is exactly what we were looking for when we voted Trump in again. Tell me what you think in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.